Four French drivers at the French Grand Prix trying to win this on the final lap. The three wide again, Guillaume down the inside. Guillaume moves across, they're both in front of Milan and Pouget.
Before you know it, we find ourselves here in the very final race of the competition.
And then they see Trak Racing and they think, this is crazy, you know, these are 5-ton machines, 1200 horsepower brake.
Oh, look at that switchback. Oh, you can look and the drift is going off.
Back there, go on board with Ben Gregory now. I love it. 18.5 minutes gone. Senna Lanson tries to go for the race lead.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening indeed. Welcome to Chaz Draycott Media, and welcome to the first of, hopefully, a few events here on the channel from Trak Racer. This is the first VIP event as part of their iRacing League, where you, yourselves, as drivers, can beat Niels Langeveld, a Porsche Cup driver who is out here on the circuit with the drivers this evening to see what they have got. And this professional racing driver will be amongst the ranks, and this is all in terms of drivers wanting to win themselves a fantastic prize. We have three 20-minute races coming your way tonight. 3 sprint races where the first 2 grids will be determined by qualifying and then the race 1 result. And race 3 of the evening will be determined by a reverse grid. The full field will be reversed, and based on the points scored over the night, the drivers can win themselves some prizes. First place on the night will get 2 tickets to the Porsche Carrera Cup Deutschland round at Zandvoort on the 9th of June. Second place will get some Trak Racer wireless headphones, and third place will win themselves a pair of Trak Racer gloves as well. The cars themselves that are going to be used this evening are the beautiful Porsche 911 992 GT3 Cup cars. The first of which we look at here is driven by Kevin Poen, the Dutch driver, making his way around the circuit. They've got a 20-minute qualifying session here that has got underway, but it's lone qualifying, so the drivers will be out there on the track on their own for this session. And I am alone in the commentary box this evening. Best wishes to my good friend Jack Stiles, who was supposed to be joining me here this evening, but he is unfortunately unable to make the broadcast for this point. And what I want to do, actually, which is a very, very good shout, actually, I've just spoken to Craig, bless him. We've got Craig Jones helping with the running of all of this, and bless him, he's been great to work with throughout the entire event so far. And it's been lovely to speak to and get all the info from, really, and get all the information from. He's just come up with the idea that we could interview Niels himself. 1 second. Just going to see whether we can get the man himself here in the commentary box with us and see whether we can have a quick chat with him as we have the drivers out there on the circuit putting their times in. Niels, welcome to the commentary box, my friend. You must be pretty excited about this event here, seeing all these guys get around this beautiful circuit here at Zandvoort.
Oh yeah, I am. Thank you. Nice to meet you. Jess, thank you for being here as commentator tonight, and thank you all for watching. Welcome everybody to this special event about beating me, which should not be too difficult, to be honest, but
you don't give yourself enough credit.
Yeah, I always try to be the underdog, you know. Try to not to aim too high, you know. Then everything I get up front is more than one, you know. So
yeah, that's
thank you. So yeah, very happy to be here. Yeah, they are starting qualifying. Actually, it's a 15 minutes qualifying. They can do 2 laps, so 2 flying laps in there to see where they are for the races. And yeah, we a bit more about this event, Jess, is that we have a new platform which is called Only Racing, and there is a platform where you can do everything you want with sim racing. You can start championship. You can be a member. You can socialize. You can find friends. It's brand new, and it's the first time we use it. So this is a one-off event for now, with very cool prizes, as you mentioned before. Going to Zandvoort as a VIP during my races over there.
Yeah.
Also with DTM, I have a special VIP lounge, which is very cool, of course. And I'm so happy that we already had, for the first time, well, I think almost 30 cars on track. So yeah, really special. Really happy that this first event, so many competitors in. So it's a good start, and I will tell you that we will have a championship later this season with more events, with bigger prizes. But the better the prizes we can get, depending on the viewers we have on the stream, of course. So yeah, really looking forward, Jess, to this event.
Absolutely, and obviously you know these cars better than most people. You know, you drive the thing for real. What does it compare like being in the sim with this sort of car around a track like this? Because it's not an easy car to drive by any means, is it, the 992 Cup car?
No, it certainly isn't. It's a really special car. I always come from front-wheel drive, with cars with front wheel engine in front, and now I go to a car with the engine in the rear and also rear wheel drive, so it's completely different. And as you mentioned, a lot of drivers are struggling to get used. Also very strong, good drivers need time to get used to this kind of car, because it's really special, especially on the braking. It's really hard to get used to it. And you need time in the car to be fast. So yeah, I really like it. I enjoy it so far, but it's not easy for me as well, as I have limited time of testing only in the simulator, which is helping me a lot. It's getting close, but the feeling with reality is always a bit different. But for sure, iRacing and with the right equipment from Trak Racer, it's sure a big help for me in real life. Yeah.
Absolutely, and it's great to see that the sim is so realistic as well, and that it can be used as a training tool like that. That's why we love iRacing. It's such a great sim to be able to do something like this on. But we hope you enjoy the evening, mate. Thank you very much for joining us, and well, we'll hopefully speak to you at some point in the near future.
Yeah, for sure. Hopefully, maybe I will come in the broadcast during race 2, during the driving. Hopefully, I will do good. For now, I need to hurry up because I need to go for my quali lap. So
yeah, no worries, mate.
Let's speak to you in a minute. Have fun and make it a crazy commentary race, mate.
Have fun, my friend. I'll see you soon.
Okay, bye-bye.
There we go, everybody. The man himself, Niels Langeveld. He's really on board with this event and properly thrown himself behind it. It's great fun. Great fun to be a part of it. We've got, at the moment, Nikolai Pedersen, fastest from Philip Hammer in second position. Then we have one of the most interesting names in the field, Tony Asumaniemi, with the Finnish driver. I think it's Asumaniemi. I'm going to assume his name, to be fair. And it's Remco Barlow, fourth place. Luke van Gortel next up. Then Kevin Poen. Tim Sprite is next up in seventh place. Nick Kirstens. Then it's Tim Overkirk. And we have Chris Versteinen in 10th place right now. A bunch of Dutch drivers in the field as well, really trying to support the man himself. Here is Niels Langeveld. We'll go on board with him as he goes up over the hill. And as you can hear, a very noisy but beautiful sounding machine. This Porsche 911 GT3 Cup car, the 992 iteration of this car, makes a fantastic racket. Listen to the way that it goes up and down the revs. So go on to this roof camera that looks down over the bonnet. And you can see that here at Zandvoort, you've got to use all of the road. You've got to be floating one way, then the other, so gently in these cars to carry the momentum. You can see the lovely Trak Racer branding here on Niels Langeveld's car. He's just warming up the tyres a bit. He's got 5.5 minutes. Towards the end of the lap here, it's not easy to get right either. I do love this Trak Racer livery on this car. Looks absolutely fantastic. Into the first corner he goes, then Tarzan boxed. Very, very difficult to get this right, especially now we're on the newer version of Zandvoort as well, so the banking is extra exaggerated on a lot of these corners. We'll go back on board for just a second, and as you see, as you go through the right-hander here into the hairpin, you're into this massive bowl of a corner. You want to go all the way around the outside and spit the car out on the exit, over the crest of the hill. You can hear the commitment needed to go through there. You have to be so on it all the way around a lap here at Zandvoort. Great entertainment though. It's lovely to see Niels throwing this car about. It's coming into the final sector in just a moment through box 9, turn basically in Dutch. Box 9 and then box 10. This is one of the places where it's hardest to get this Porsche to behave itself, because you do get a slight four-wheel drift through the left-hander as the momentum shifts underneath the car. Then you go down to the Hans Ernst box, which is this chicane that turns into a hairpin. Very interesting part of the track. Careful on the curb. You can see a lot of dust has been kicked up on the inside line just there. As he gets on the power now towards Kumo. And then the Arie Luyendyk box. It is a high commitment section of the circuit. It's a much higher speed corner than people seem to think that. And look at this round the banking now. How cool is this? As Niels blasts the Porsche down the start-finish straight and towards the line. Don't forget, this is just going to set the grid for race 1. The race 2 grid is going to be set by the result of the first race. Niels Langeveld goes third fastest at the moment, behind Philip Hammer and just ahead of Asuma Niemi. We have 28 cars in the field at the moment. Just looking a bit further down, Casper Riche Anderson has actually not set a time. He's got 8,000 I rating as Casper. So too has his countryman Nikolai Pedersen on pole position. But he's not set a lap time. Clearly just had a little bit too much commitment somewhere and has not been able to get a time on the board, unfortunately. Niels Langeveld going for his second lap. He's done a personal best in Sector 1. He's the only car on the circuit now in the number 15 machine. You can see, though, it's very close all the way down the order. Hello, everyone in the chat as well. Marvin in the chat as well. Good to see you again, Marvin. Hope you're doing well, mate. Craig Jones saying, let's go. And the wonderful Simon Price saying, great to hear you on the commentary again, Chaz. Feels like it's been forever. Yeah, to be fair, it has been a while, hasn't it? It has been a while since I think the last one I commentated would have been the end of the season for the Evolution Sim Racing GT3 Championship. And that does feel like forever ago. I think it was 2 or 3 weeks ago now. But here comes Langeveld towards the final couple of corners. And while the event name is that the drivers want to beat Niels Langeveld, it's not the only criteria for them to get a prize or anything this evening. It's just down to the points on the night. Either that, or if Niels comes away as winner, he's got 2 tickets to his own event here at the Zandvoort on the 9th of June. Personal bests in all sectors across the line, and he is just under 0.2 of a second off pole, but he has a good 0.8 of a second gap back to Tony Asuma Niemi behind him. And right now, that is how the grid looks on the left-hand side. Steve Kleiss in the chat. Great to see you, Steve. Hope you're doing well, mate. Lovely to see you up there. Steve is in the field as well. 18th place in this one at the moment. He's got his countryman Regis Gosselin not too far behind him in 20th place. It's a very international grid that we've got here. We've got Ivan Ferrari, Afonso Souto as well, Italian and Portuguese drivers respectively, Finnish drivers, Dutch drivers, Danish drivers, and even the German Philip Hammer up there as well at the top end of the order. Marvin saying his relationship between himself and the Cup car is bad. Yeah, it's not an easy car to drive, is the Porsche Cup car. It is a very, very feisty bit of kit when it wants to be. We've had a couple of offs throughout the session. If we have a quick look here at Ivan Ferrari, it may show us that he's been off the circuit, although we weren't looking at him at the time, actually. So I don't think, no, it's not going to show us his moment where he went off, because we weren't in the session watching him at that stage. But Niels Langeveld has gone third quickest. We'll bring up the times on the left hand side for you again. You can see less than 0.1 of a second in it between the top two, just 0.099 of a second, and it's very, very close between those pair. Just 30 seconds left before we grid up for the first race of the evening. As I've said, 3 20-minute sprint races coming up tonight, and the first one organised by this first qualifying session. Then we have the race result from race 1 determining the grid for race 2, and then after that we're going to have a full reverse grid, all 28 cars reversed for the final race of the evening, and the guys will be doing their best to keep up to date with the points and hopefully keep me in the loop as well so we can see who comes away as the winner. Okay, so we'll have to see now how they all do down towards turn 1, because they are starting to grid up, and we'll get through this pretty quickly then. So, pole position then, Nikolai Pedersen taking pole. He's alongside Philip Hammer on the front row. Then it's Niels Langeveld and Tony Asuminiemi in 4th place. Then it's Remco Barlow and Luke van Gortel, Kevin Poen and Tim Sprite in 8th place. Then we have Nick Kirstens and Tim Overkirk rounding out the top 10. Then it is Chris Versteinen alongside Angelo Luvers in the 6th row of the grid. Next up, Simon van Dijk is next up, with Kaz Brinkhuizen in 14th place. Eilers de Vries 15th. Victor van Zeist is in 16th. And then behind him we have Hans Vesterbeek and Steve Kleis. Rutger Gerritsen is next up, with Regis Gosselin joining him on the 10th row of the grid. I can't do my maths this evening. We then have HF Reinders and Henry Perala in the 22nd spot on the grid. Martin Koch and Marvin Amance on the 12th row, ahead of Kevin Stringer, Casper Riche Anderson, Afonso Suto, and Ivan Ferrari rounding out the 28-car field. And listen for these gorgeous flat sixes of the Porsche 911 992 GT3s. Nikolai Pedersen builds up the revs from pole position. The entire field will do so. And we're underway for the first race of the night here at Zandvoort. What a great launch that was by Nikolai Pedersen as well. There's a car off in the background losing positions. It's Reinders that's gone off the road. He's moved over to the left-hand side. I'm not sure if he had some contact to help him in there. But we've got a big, busy field of cars. Oh, there's contact. Rutger Gerritsen goes around. And Hans Westerbeek has had an issue as well. He's gone off the road. But at the front end of the pack, it's remained nice and tidy. We'll go on board here with Luke van Gortel. He's currently in 5th position, chasing down Asuminiemi. No change other than that inside the top 6 or 7 places, actually. Nick Kirstens has gained a spot. He's moved up into 8th place. Tim Sprite has lost a position. Chris Versteinen has made his way into the top 10 as well. But Nikolai Pedersen, with a really tidy start, leads the field away then, with Philip Hammer behind him. Philip doing everything he can to keep the car as tidy as possible, especially through turns 9 and 10 here on this part of the track. Not easy to get it right. There's a move down the inside there as well. That's Luke van Gortel actually under pressure from Remco Barlow, I believe it is, in the dark 420 machine. Oh, Hans Westerbeek has had a drama again. He's lost even more places in car 931. There's a big gold machine just in front of him there. That's Marvin Julien and Amance actually in the golden Porsche. He's right behind Ivan Ferrari, who's gained 9 places off the start. Casper Riche Anderson has gained 11 positions in the first sort of 2/3 of a lap in car 43. He's absolutely flying. He means business here. Excellent stuff. We'll have a look back at his start and see exactly what he made of this. Let's go on the roof cam of the car and see just how this lap unfolded. You hear him clunk it into first gear. It makes a hell of a noise in these 992s. Look at the launch, kicks the back end out slightly sideways, gets a bit of wheel spin. There's Reinders going off the road, and look at this. An amazing run already. There's been a drama for Remco Barlow. We'll go back and have a look at it in just a moment. Look down the inside, nice and confident. 2 cars off on the left-hand side, another car running wide. And Casper finds every possible opportunity that he can. That's the number 16 machine that he's overtaken there of Henry Perala, the Finnish driver. He also gained 6 places in the first lap. There was some drama in the middle of the field there. Well avoided by Casper, and he gets another spot. And then the 27 car, just enough of a gap there to squeeze down the inside. That's Steve Kleis in that gorgeous liveried white and blue machine. What a great start that is. I'm afraid Regis Gosselin has just had a drama. He's been off, and Martin Koch is recovering too. He's back onto the circuit, but like I say, some sort of drama there for these guys. They must have come together. I think Steve Kleis and Remco Barlow both had a drama. This is down into turn 1. Oh, there's already an incident in front of Steve Kleis, and then he's gone in deep, and there's multiple cars off the road. Loads of them having a bit of a party on the beach. It is very close to the coast, is Zandvoort, but well, they brought the beach to the circuit there by the look of it. But behind the trees somewhere there he is. There's Philip Hammer, 2nd place at the minute. Down the start-finish straight he goes once more. Great start this by Pedersen. He leads the race after 2 laps, moves on to lap 3. Fastest lap of the race as well for Nikolai. Philip Hammer second, Niels Langeveld in third position. Don't forget Real World Racer Niels Langeveld. He's the man behind the event here, the sort of inspiration for this. You get 2 tickets to go to Zandvoort if you win the evening's racing. Just behind them, Tony Asumaniemi with Luke van Gortel and Kevin Poen. Both of them have gained a position each. Nick Kirstens has gained 2 places in this race so far for Team Kirstens. Go back on board with the glorious, glorious sound of that flat 6. Making a hell of a lot of horsepower in this 992 Cup car. It gets closer and closer to a full GT3 car every single iteration. You can see how much these cars move around though. That's one of the key things I'm going to be talking about here tonight, is the body language of these Porsche Cup cars. They bounce around, they move around a lot, and they really show you as a viewer from the outside how the car is behaving. You know, you do see some GT cars, some prototypes, and they're very stiff cars because the way that they're set up is so, I don't know, they're overly perfect. You know, you don't see them sort of stepping out or having a slide this way or a slide that way. Tim Overkirk here in the Rexy homage livery, chasing down Simon van Dijk Stokvist in the number 26 machine. It's close to second place again though, I can see on my timing. Philip Hammer here in second position, looking back at Niels Langeveld. Crosses the line, 5 minutes, a quarter of the race done with already. That's flown by in the blink of an eye. But Philip, for Impulse Racing, needing to keep his finger on the pulse at the moment, just to keep it nice and tidy and do what he can do. We're going to quickly switch here to Henry Perala, who's got 3 cars closing down on him. He's got Kaz Brinkhuizen, Marvin Julian and Mance, and Hans Westerbeek in there as well. Hans in the yellow car at the back of this train. This is the view from his roof as he chases these guys, the golden machine of Marvin Julian and Mance. And you can see, look, the different lines here. Trying to take a tighter line, but narrow off the corner. Doesn't really work there for Kaz Brinkhuizen. And what a great view we got of that there as Marvin sweeps past on the outside. Westerbeek puts his nose down the inside as well now, but backs out of that one. It's not easy to make it work through there. Goes down towards the right-hander at Shivlak. Easy place to overdo it through Shivlak, and we've seen many cars go off there before. As Marvin down the inside, Amance tries to make the move on Henry Perala. Has he got it done? Yes, he has. They're 3 wide all of a sudden behind now as Westerbeek sends one up the inside, and all of a sudden there's nearly contact between himself and Kaz Brinkhuizen. Kaz manages to regain the place back to near the front, and Philip Hammer still under pressure from Niels Langeveld. Oh no, Remco Barlow is off at the chicane. Recovers. Love that matte style livery. That looks fantastic on that car. I say that like the 992 doesn't look good in every single livery we see it in. Here's Luke van Gortel. Big pressure from behind him from Kevin Poen. Kevin wants to move over to the inside in the Lidl livery. Very inspired paint scheme. Nick Kirsten's just behind the 2 of them as well, watching this with bated breath, waiting for an opportunity, waiting for a mistake. Great battling so far all the way through the field. It's always exciting, and this is one of the best things when you're covering an event, even if it's a one-off as well. You never know who's going to be quick. You never know who is going to sort of surprise you or where the pace is going to be at certain parts of a night. Some of the drivers later on during the reverse grid races might have trouble coming through the traffic and making overtakes. You know, they might not have the patience for it. They might get caught up in incidents. There's so many angles and elements to this night of racing. The drivers have got to be so switched on throughout all of it. We've got a 5-minute warm-up break between the second and third races, where I'll be just away for a second, just taking a quick break for a drink or so. And there's been a change. Langeveld's gone through, down the inside of Philip Hammer. Gets the move done through the hairpin at box 10. Can Philip come back at him now? He's going to try and go over to the right-hand side. Look down the inside into the Hans Ernst box. Doesn't work this time. 6,000 I rate in each, these drivers. Niels Langeveld was 6,300, Philip Hammer was 6,006. Luke van Gortel's going well. He's got 2,000 I rating, but he's ahead of many drivers with 3 and 4,000. Casper Riche Anderson, as I mentioned earlier, he's got 8,000 I rating. I think he's the highest I rating in the field. He is. He's now gained 16 places from where he started this race. Hopefully that works on the left-hand side. The green isn't very pretty. I do apologise, everybody. But he is flying in this race, is Casper Riche-Andersen, and of course he can still try and move forward from there in the later race. What a move that is by Chris Versteinen. Goes one way, then the other, round the outside at Tarzan. Does he make it work? He does. He uses the outside momentum to swoop through. Wow. Epic stuff. Absolutely epic stuff around the outside. And oh, dearie me, there's a blink in and out there for Tim Sprite. And is the yeah, I couldn't get the word out for it, but I was going to say, is the room there? Is the move on? Yeah, it absolutely is. Casper Riche-Andersen going through. Moving now further inside the top 10 up to 9th position. A little bit further back, Victor van Zijst has got Simon van Dijk Stokvist and Tim Overkerk behind him. 3 very beautiful Porsches together. The MJK sim racing thing, just trying to cling to whatever it can at the moment. I love the scaly pattern on the TSR car there just behind him, but look, he's on the outside line now through turn 9. That's going to put him on the inside for turn 10. Still side by side, he's around there somewhere as, oh dearie me, Simon van Dijk, sorry, Tim Overkerk it was, having a little bit of a moment there, just hanging the back end of the car out slightly. That was very, very close stuff. But he's got the front row seat to this battle going on right now. A little bit of early braking there, and Tim throws it up the inside into the Hans Ernst spot, takes all the curb with him. What a great move that was. Lovely opportunistic stuff. And through, up into 13th place. Victor van Zijst, though, has now got a couple of car lengths to just breathe for a second here on lap 7. And we're nearly at the halfway point of the first race of the evening, but wow, busy, busy stuff in the midfield here. Ivan Ferrari as well, the Italian driver, has actually moved up 13 places in this race. He's now on the back of Simon in car number 206. Definitely quicker than a 206, that's for sure. But what a fantastic controlled drive this is at the moment from Nikolai Pedersen. He is on the move at the front of the field. Gorgeous looking car as well. Let's love the livery on it. Fantastic sort of bronzy gold spec map on the thing. Looking back from him, you can see that Niels Langeveld is definitely not lingering away. They're only a 1/10 of a second. Actually, no, to be fair, Niels was 3/10 of a second quicker on that previous lap. I do apologise. So he is catching, just gradually. Philip Hammer was almost an identical lap time to our current race leader. As I've just seen that Simon van Dijk Stokvist has had an off. Let's have a look at what happened here to him. Up over the crest of the hill he goes. Car bouncing and wobbling away. He's just overdone it on the brakes, just gone that little bit too deep. And around Schivlak, all you need to do is clip the gravel once, and it is going to feel awful. Eilers de Vries is in the wall. Car number 92 on the exit of the hairpin. He recovers, but that seemed like quite the off there, and it's just going to be self-endured here. I think maybe just running a little bit wide on the exit, clipping the gravel. Oh, it was already breaking away and then just kisses the barrier. Sounds a lot more dramatic than it was. I don't think the car's going to necessarily suffer too much from that. There's Kevin Pone now trying to defend from Nick Kirstens. Nick throwing everything at this at the moment. Two of them are just glued together. It's one 8-wheeled Porsche at the minute as Kirstens looks down the inside for that tighter line. But look at that, Kevin Pone saying, nope, I'm going to sweep around the outside here, and bolts away from the hairpin. Great stuff. And this is what we wanted to see. Epic battling at the start of the evening here in this Trak Racer VIP event. Hope you're all enjoying yourselves, everybody. Because these guys are. Look at this. Tim Overkerk now ahead of Chris Versteinen, Victor van Zijst, and Ivan Ferrari in there too. We'll go on board with Ivan and see what he can see from all of this while he's busy behind the wheel, soaring away this way and that, trying to carry whatever momentum he can, whether the car is pointing the right way or whether it's going sideways. He's got that gorgeous number 323 machine in front of him. All of them just want to have a go at Tim Overkerk as, there's been a drama behind, I think. Kevin Stringer. Car number 13 has been unlucky for some. He's been in the wall there. Rutger Gerritsen also dropped a position or two in whatever went on there. Let's have a look at this. Kevin Stringer has Rutger Gerritsen behind him. Very close into Schivlak as, he had a bit of a wobble on the way in. And he was so far away from the wall for so long, and then it just floated along and kissed it that tiny bit. I think he had a bit of a wobble on the way into the corner, and it just caught Gerritsen off guard. And the contact came and it didn't help anybody. This battle's still going on here. Kevin Poen still trying to hold 5th place as sideways out of the first corner goes Nick Kirstens. Very exciting stuff here from the 2 Dutch drivers. Now Nick learned on the previous lap you need to go around the outside here and sweep your way through the corner. It's all about getting the run on the exit and speeding away up over the crest of the hill, over the dunes here at Zandvoort. Great race so far. They're really enjoying this at the minute. Hope you all are as well. Got 2 more races still to come. 6 minutes left in this one. Ivan Ferrari trying to make a move on Victor van Zijst. He's gained 15 positions in this race so far. Casper Richier Andersen has moved up 18 places into 8th from 26th on the grid, which is remarkable. I'm excited to see how he gets on in the final race of the night as well, especially as the fact that, well, we've got the second race coming up and he's going to be starting from his finishing position for that one. Bit of movement in the background there. I think that was Kaz. No, it wasn't Kaz, it was Simon van Dijk having a big old wobble. Just kissed the curb that tiny bit. Now, if we look at the front of the field here, you'll have noticed that Nikolai Pedersen is not necessarily under pressure from Niels Langeveld, but he is being caught here. The difference on that last lap was 0.6 of a second as well. A 1:37.8 for Pedersen, Langeveld a 1:37.2, and also Philip Hammer in 3rd place. He did a 1:37.3. So the 3 of them are all getting closer and closer together. There's only 1.2 seconds or so separating the entire trio at the moment. You can see the windscreen wiper coming on there. You do get a lot of dust kicked up here at Zandvoort. It's a very dusty circuit, being right on the coast, near the dunes as well. There's a lot of gravel traps for you to worry about as well. So we will see the windscreen wipers come on in the cars without having to speculate about rain anymore here on iRacing, I can tell you that for free. This has been mighty exciting so far, and we have the top 3 separated by just over a second. Nikolai Pedersen at the very front of the pack. They make their way out of box 10. As there's been a drama behind, Nick Kirstens is off at box 10. I was just looking at the lap times to see if any of them were really bolting forward. Kirstens throws it up the inside of Kevin Poen. 2 of them absolutely side by side. Is there enough? Now, in case you haven't seen that before, that's known as netcode. The 2 cars didn't actually touch there, but the sim communicating the info from one end to the other, from one client to the other, has sort of assumed that the 2 of them were going to make contact based on how close they were together. And I hate to say it, but Nick Kirstens has been done in by the sim there. That was not really anyone's fault at all. Got Jose Azevedo in the chat saying, Gosselin, we love you. Unfortunately, Gosselin out of the race in this first one of the night. Hopefully has a better evening of it as it continues on. Don't have the entire field showing on the left-hand side. There you go, everybody. I do apologise. But we have so many great battles going on, but this top 3 battle is the important one for the minute. There's another good scrap going on here, actually. Tim Sprite, Chris Verstein and Ivan Ferrari all chasing Tim Uverkirk. And even behind that as well. I was going to say there's more battles going on, but that's quite literally a fight there between Victor van Zijst and I think Simon van Dijk Stockvis was in that one. A little bit of a touch between the pair of them as they go through the hairpin. Nick Kirstens off again through Shivlak. He's having a lively old race, is Nick. He's giving just about everything he can to this circuit and this race. There's still 2 more to go yet, Sunshine. Calm it. Nikolai Pedersen, last time round, was only 0.04 of a second slower than Niels Langeveld, so the difference in the gap in their lap times has been taken down substantially. Nikolai has reacted to what the drivers behind are doing. It was actually Philip Hammer that was quicker than the other 2 on that last lap by 0.4 of a second. We've now got just over 2 minutes left in the race. So we're going to have this lap that they're just going on to now, lap 12 here at Zandvoort. And then we're going to have one more after that. 2 minutes on the clock. And it is the first time they cross the line once that clock hits 0. That is the end of the race. love the way these cars look, just floating away around there. The momentum that they carry is almost terrifying. They're so fast. Up over the crest of the hill then. We'll go back on board with Philipp Hammer. See what he can do from here in the Impulse racing machine. You can see that he's not necessarily just throwing himself at this. He's not putting himself down the inside. He's thinking, look, it's a long evening of racing. It's a good chance to get points. Why not? Why would you risk it at this stage and then put yourself on the back foot? He's waiting for an opportunity to get through. He's clearly confident enough to stick with these guys and have the pace. This is a great chase at the moment, though. Nikolai Pedersen has done everything he needs to do at the minute. Not sure if he's any relation to Nicky Pedersen, the Speedway rider from Denmark, but interesting to find out. As he's gone a bit deep into Hans Ernstbach there. Nearly ended up on the dirt like the actual Nicky Pedersen would have done. But look at that, Niels Langeveld moving this way and that way, trying to sort of put off Philipp Hammer a slight bit there. Maybe just weaving around to say, don't try and overtake me, please. Let's work together and go forward. He'll be tapping his helmet like you do in karting. We sort of give the signal to the driver behind to say go for it. And here comes the move, actually. Philipp Hammer is going for it. He's going for the run down the start-finish straight. We go on board with Niels Langeveld. He's got the inside line. Where is Philipp Hammer? He's around here somewhere. He's going to try and use the momentum. No, I think there was a little bit of a touch there. They've got 15 incident points in these races before they get any sort of drive-through penalty. But we're on to the final lap here in race 1 of the evening. And Philipp Hammer, well, he's trying to hammer home a result right now. But this is the battle for the lead. This is excellent stuff in the first race. They get to do this all again in not too many minutes' time, because we go straight from this race into the second one. There's no sort of warm-up session in between. Casper, by the way, has just lost a place to... Or has he? No, actually. There was a change behind that. I do apologise. Chris Versteinen and Tim Sprite have just changed places. We go back to this at the front, though, because if anything, Langeveld is the one under pressure now from Philipp Hammer, rather than being the one that's trying to move forward and overtake. This is great racing. This is between these three. You've got to love it. Philipp Hammer with a front row seat as all. Langeveld clips the back of Pedersen and through goes Philipp Hammer. Fantastic opportunism. Langeveld just didn't get it stopped in time for the apex and just clips the back of the Dane's car at the front. And that's thrown the cat amongst the pigeons for a couple of corners at least. They need to settle down now for the final few corners of the race. But it's looking to me like it's going to be Pedersen. And he's worked very, very hard for this. Hammer is going to, by the look of it, finish in second place. But taking first blood on the night. What a brilliant drive that was by Nikolai Pedersen, who takes the win. Philipp Hammer in second position. Niels Langeveld in third. What a show those boys put on. A very under-the-radar performance, but still a tidy one for Tony Asumniemi. Finnish driver finishes in fourth place. Kevin Poon next up. Luke van Gortel just ahead of Casper Riche Andersen. 19 positions gained for him. And what about the rabble? What about this lot? Chris Versteinen, Tim Sprite, Ivan Ferrari, Remco Barlow, all of them together. Simon van Dijk Stokvist and Kaz Brinkhuizen next up. Wow. Busy stuff there. But Nikolai Pedersen, he just popped back to the pits, so he disappeared off our screens for a moment there. I do apologise. He takes first blood this evening. And what a brilliant drive that was from the Dane. So we'll quickly go over a couple of results for you once all the drivers cross the line, but it's really quickly going to go into the next race. And also, to be fair, Spotify doesn't like it when you try and speak over it for too long a period of time, so it may just suddenly go very quiet in the background. We'll watch some of the final drivers cross the line. We've got Rutger Gerritsen just coming around the last corner. Start-finish line is there as well. It's sort of halfway down the straight here at Zandvoort. And the final car to cross the line is going to be HF Reinders, completing the field. 25 of the 28 cars finished that race. I don't think Afonso Souto actually took to the grid at the beginning. So, let's have a quick look at this first race result. There is actually still a warm-up session between them by the look of it. They are, apparently gridding to the next session, so we'll have to see what happens here. Nikolai Pedersen wins from Philipp Hammer in second place. Niels Langeveld finishing in third place. Great run from him. Tony Asumaniemi finishes in fourth, with Kevin Poen in fifth place. Luke van Gortel is sixth, ahead of Casper Riche Andersen in seventh. Then it's Nick Kirstens, Tim Uberkirk, and Chris Versteinen completing the top 10. Behind them in 11th place was Tim Sprite with Ivan Ferrari in 12th. Great recovery from him, actually, from the back of the grid. Remco Barlow next up, then Simon van Dijk Stokvist. Then it's Kaz Brinkhuizen in 15th. Eilers de Vries 16th. Victor van Zeist in 17th place and 18th going the way of Henry Perala. Next up was Hans Vesterbeek in 19th. Marvin Gillian and Mance finishing in 20th. And Martin Koch in 21st. Kevin Stringer was 22nd. Angelo Louvers in car number 1 was in 23rd. Ahead of Rutger Gerritsen and HF Reinders, the last driver on the lead lap. Steve Kleiss, Regis Gosselin and Afonso Souto did not complete the race. So we'll see what the situation is here. I didn't think there was a warm-up session between the first race and the second race, so we'll figure it out. But the drivers now making their way around the circuit to just get some more laps in on their own for a second, maybe adjust to some of the conditions. It can very quickly change. And we'll see what they make of it. Because even from one race session to the next, the conditions can be mighty different. Look at the track temperature there. 52 degrees Celsius. That's one of the hottest track temperatures I've seen. Genuinely, that's one of the hottest temperatures I've ever seen in iRacing. And if you just bear with me, everybody, 2 seconds, I'll be right back with you and we'll move on into the next race. Just give us a sec.
Guys,
Hello, Craig.
hello. Just
Sorry about that there, everybody. There's been an issue with the server, unfortunately. You would have heard Craig jump in there, actually, to say hello. But, yeah, the server has skipped one of the races for the evening. So, basically, what it's done is it's skipped past race 2 and gone straight to race 3. So, I'm afraid we're just going to have to be back in a couple of moments' time because, well, we've got, like I say, an issue here where it's set the reverse grid up straight off the bat instead of having it for a second race with that order and then having another race come up after that. I hope I'm explaining it right, everybody. But if you bear with me, we're going to stick some music on. We're going to get into the next session and we'll be back very, very shortly. And just to clarify as well, everybody, what that will mean is then from the second race to the third race, we will also hop back out of the session and then hop back into a final one. So please do bear with us. We'll get this sorted as quickly as we can, and we'll be back very, very soon.
arms and never leave me. Don't leave me, boy. Tell me if you want to follow me now, to follow me. Take me to your arms and never leave me. Don't leave me, boy.
Thank you for your patience on this one, everybody. We will get the session set up in just a moment's time, and then we will be cracking on for more racing at Zandvoort in this Trak Racer special event. Hello again, everybody. Delighted to say that the new session is just going up live now. We're just going to be joining in. They've got a 5-minute practice session up just so they can get everybody into this new one, and we will be right back on air in just a moment. Thank you very much for your patience. Really do appreciate it. Again, apologies for the issue. It's actually on me, actually. I was helping Craig, bless him, earlier on today, set the session up through iRacing's heat system, and what it does is race 2 of the session, or race 2 of the night, was going to be known by iRacing as the consolation race. And what it did is because everybody was put through into the feature, Spotify stopped because I was talking for so long, because everyone was put through into the feature race at the end of the night, it thought, oh, there's no point in the consolation because all the spaces are already taken up. So the sim basically put everybody straight into the feature race and didn't bother with the consolation. So we've missed a race, and they're going to be just setting it all up now so we can go again. So bear with us, and we'll be right back with you. Okay, everybody, I do apologise for the issues there, but we are back here at Zandvoort for this Trak Racer VIP event, where the drivers are all aiming to beat Niels Langeveld, real-world racing driver, and the prize at the end of the night, the top prize, is 2 tickets to Zandvoort on the 9th of June to see Niels race, and VIP tickets, indeed, to watch him race in the Porsche Carrera Cup Deutschland here at Zandvoort. So, second race of the evening will be getting underway just now then. They're all making their way to the grid, and it is going to be a busy second race of the night. We have 25 drivers on the grid this time round, and as you can see there, Nick Kirstens, he was right in the thick of it in that first race. He had a really exciting time battling away with the man that just finished a few places further up, Kevin Pone, who's just popped up there in the Lidl livery that we saw earlier on. Plenty of fun from him. We'll just have to now wait and see what these drivers make of this and how they now get back into the rhythm, so to speak, for this second race of the night. We've got Nikolai Pedersen on pole position. And the lights are going to come on the grid now. The revs will rise, as will mine, as Charlie Cox once said. And the second race of the evening here at Zandvoort in this Trak Racer VIP event is underway. And they all fan out off the start. The number 11 machine of Ivan Ferrari got very squirrely off the line. It's 3 wide for second position there. Tony Asumniemi trying to come round the outside, then ducks to the middle of the circuit. Oh, he's been tagged. He got clipped a little bit there by, is that Casper trying to go through? Casper Riche Anderson, one of the fastest drivers in the field in the first race, gained something like 19 positions as Kevin Pone and Luke Van Gortel get very friendly with each other. Let's keep our eye on the rest of the field as they swoop around. Good, tidy stuff there. Steve Kleiss, real-world racing driver as well and professional coach, trying to gain some places in the opening corners. Casper Riche Anderson's gained 2 places already, but apparently he's off the road. He's had a bit of a drama. Oh, Tony Asumniemi, he's off. The smoke up there, and whoa, he's off into the barrier big time. Tony is way off the road. Not sure if he's hit the wall or anything. Oh, dearie me, he has definitely hit the wall, actually. Look at the damage. The right rear of the car is ruined, and oh dear. I wonder if he had contact with Casper. 2 of them so close over the top of the hill. Oh, he's had a bounce and got out of shape. And then it's going to go backwards into the wall with that right rear. Oh, that's a big hit as well. Big old hit. Rutger Gerritsen's had a problem. Victor van Zeist has had a spin up there as well. But once again, it's Nikolai Pedersen leading the way. Philip Hammer, second position. And then Langeveld in third. It's the top three from the earlier race. But now, what can Kasper Riche Andersen do from this position? Can he catch up with them and get amongst that lead fight? I've got all faith that he can with the pace that he showed. Oh, 13 is unlucky for a sum again. Well, I said that earlier about Kevin Stringer, but he's now car number 15 in this race because they've had to jump back into a different session. So it's Pedersen, Hammer, Langeveld, Riche Andersen, Poen, Gortel, Kerstens. Brinkhuizen's gained 7 places in this one so far. As there's a move down the inside by Kerstens. Has gone in too deep into turn 1. Onto the escape road, though. And he should be all right from there. Oh, Tim Sprite's actually done the same thing as well. Straight on at the hairpin. Recovers and gets back up to speed. Wow, very, very lively stuff. Here we go, up over the hill again. And you can see these top 3 are still chasing each other down, but very sort of in a reserved way here. They're not overdoing it. They're keeping it tidy, they're keeping it clean. They're not overly pushing, they're not going mad at each other for this, because they know that at the end of the day it's about points in this scenario. Love riding on board with these cars though, they make such a good noise. Kaz Brinkhuizen, what a fantastic run he's having so far, the Dutch driver for No Neck Racing. Currently running in 7th place, started 15th on the grid in this second one. Steve Kleiss as well. He's just gained a place actually on Marvin Julien Mamants. He was taking the mick out of Marvin earlier on in the YouTube chat actually. He'll be taking the mick out of him even more now that he's had that. Let's see what happened to Marvin. I know that he'll enjoy the airtime on my channel. He's a good friend of mine, Marvin. Commentated on him for many years. Lovely, lovely guy. Great supporter of mine. Side by side with the number 11. He's just gone, he's locked up that front right. Just gone that tiny bit too hot into the chicane. Does a good job though not to completely fly across the road. He at least gets back on in as safe a manner as you can in that situation. It's not easy to do that. But Pedersen, Danish driver, right at the sharp end. Still doing whatever he can do to keep these guys behind him. Up over the crest. Love this run down to Schivlak. It's so awesome. Look at the speed of them through there. Brinkhuizen chases down Luke van Gortel in car number 6. Into box 9 they go then. Plenty of steering lock on there. Let the car run out wide. They're really difficult corners to get right, these, because of how wide they are. You feel like you can just use all the road and it'll be alright, but there's a certain amount of the road that if you overdo it, if you use too much and go too wide, all you're doing is just lengthening the circuit at that point, and you're not carrying additional speed for any benefit at that part of the lap. Through the Hans Ernst box they go. Battle going on here as well. Nick Kirsten's trying to regain time, regain positions after losing a lot earlier. Oh, bounces off the back of Steve Kleiss. Just gets away with that. But the car could have very easily gone around there. There's a good battle going on here. Remco Barlow, car 420, right behind Marvin Julien Mamants. And then Henry Perala has got Victor van Zeist for company as well. Actually, Van Zeist looks down the inside on Perala. Good move that. Down the banking, but he's on the tighter line, so is Perala then going to use the outside momentum to go through? Not quite sure. Remco Barlow looking down the inside of Amantz now as well. As he's overdone it into turn 1, and Amantz gets a free pass to go through. As all of a sudden Remco Barlow finds himself rejoining in front of Henry Perala. So, bit of a mixed start this one, quite lively, but also at the same time tidy from those involved at the front. You can see Kasper Riche Andersen. His last lap was a 1:35.7, 1:35.6 for Nikolai Pedersen, and then Langeveld doing a 1:35.8, Hammer doing a 1:35.7, so all of them within about 2/10 of each other. It looked like Kasper just pushed a little bit too hard there. Just went a little bit deep into turn 9. What about turn 10? Very tidy. Although I say that, and on the exit, it's a bit of a tank slapper trying to get away. Again, just enjoying the view at the moment on these Porsche 992s. I hope you are as well. Thank you very much for sticking with us through the technical issues that we had earlier on, everybody. It's great to have you here on Chaz Draycott Media tonight for this Trak Racer VIP event. Hope you're all enjoying yourselves. I certainly am. Love being up in the box when there's these Porsches racing down there on the circuit. Great fun, and it's a pleasure to have been invited to do this. Thank you very much to Craig, like I said, for bringing me on board, and the guys at Trak Racer. Eilers de Vries just trying to make a move there on Ivan Ferrari. Steve Kleiss has gained 12 places as off goes Ivan Ferrari. Oh, Steve Kleiss getting a bit sideways as well there as he tries to recover. Love the livery on that car, it looks absolutely awesome. I think it's the Eagle Motorsport livery. Sweeps around the outside. It's so cool, that corner, isn't it? It's one of the coolest parts of the circuit, that. Just waiting to see if anybody here has a standout lap. But really, they're all within about a tenth and a bit of each other. Casper Richet Anderson has actually gone a bit quicker than them on that previous circulation. He was 2 tenths quicker than all the other guys in front of him. So there's all opportunity for him to still catch up with them and get amongst it. The battles continue on here with Kaz Brinkhuizen still doing what he can do to get past Luke van Gortel. Car number 6 is in position number 6 at the moment. Kaz is all over him. You can see they're braking a little bit early just to try and maximise the exit off the corner. A little bit of corrective oversteer there, and Van Gortel kisses the gravel a tiny little bit, but doesn't upset the rhythm of the car too much. I love the asymmetric livery on a lot of these cars as well. There's a bunch of them that have got a different colour on one side to the other. Very confusing for commentators sometimes, but mighty entertaining. Down through the gears they go. Nice and smooth on the exit of Tarzan. You can see Tim Overkirk in the background here with the mouth on Rexy trying to take a bite. There's a battle in the background there. Steve Kleiss side by side. Car number 11 with him. That's Ivan Ferrari, the Italian. He looks down the inside but has to take the outside line. Steve tries to open up the corner as much as possible. Wow. Says, get out there, sunshine. You're not having any of that. I'm sure Ivan won't take that one lying down, and he's now right behind him as they run down towards Shivlak. Looks to put his nose down the inside. What a save that is by Steve Kleiss. Wow. It was risky stuff by Ivan to put his nose down there. Steve didn't want any of it. He was saying, nope, you're not going to do it, mate. And flipping heck, that was an almighty save by Kleiss. And all of a sudden, Ferrari is now under pressure from Luvers. As, Ivan looking down the inside again. It's typical Italian flamboyance, isn't it, from Ivan? Very exciting bit of driving. Throwing himself at the inside, lines, overdoes it, slides slightly sideways. Looking at the track conditions, it's a lot cooler than it was before. I don't quite think it's 3.4 million hectopascals at the moment. That's more like the weather on the sun. As Ivan, all the way over to the left, says, no thank you, Angelo. You can stick there, son. As, he's overdone it now. As Angelo has to be careful about putting his nose down the inside there. Marvin Julio Mamance is going to be back in on this. But look at the front, everybody, because Philip Hammer and Nikolai Pedersen are side by side for the race lead. Hammer trying to swoop around the outside at Tarzan. They both leave each other just enough room to get this done. Langeveld in the background is going to have a great front row seat to this as they go into the hairpin. Oh, dearie me, Pedersen runs a little bit wide through the right kink. Langeveld tries to set it up for the exit. Has to just give it a dab of the brakes, not to go into the back of him, and then back up over the crest they go. Fantastic racing by these guys. We're into the second half of the second race of the night here at Zandvoort. And I am absolutely loving it up here in the box. Great defensive driving that by Nikolai Pedersen. Did exactly what he needed to do. Put the car in the right place at the right time. And there was no further mucking about. And looking back here, Luke van Gortel is going to be fed up with having Kaz Brinkhuizen right behind him, because he is still not leaving him alone. And then you've got Tim Overkirk as well in there, trying to do what he can do to overtake. But like I say, it's another opportunity here for Tim where he can sit there and just see what the guys in front are going to be doing. You know, just wait for a mistake. Wait for the one of them to make a move and hold themselves up naturally. Into the Hans Ernst Bock yet again. Rexy looking strong at this point, but not strong enough to make it through at this moment in time. Top three once again together as they head down the start-finish straight. Let's have a look at their lap times this time round. A 1:37.2 for Pedersen, 37.4 for Hammer, and 36.9 for Langeveld. So Langeveld in third place, the quicker of them. 37.2 as well for Casper Riche-Andersen. So he matched the race leader, but not second and third positions for their lap times. There's contact down into turn one, and Simon van Dijk, I mean, the car was alongside him and he kept coming over to the side, and Steve Kleiss is just so unlucky in this race. He had to slam on. But I think if we see this here, looking at Simon, you can see the move is coming down the inside. He just keeps coming over to the right-hand side, hoping that the 92 machine of Eilers de Vries was going to back out of that. But he'd already committed to put his nose down the inside. And Eilers, well, he clearly wanted to make the move, put his nose down the inside, and the door was closed on him. Don't think there was anything else he could have done there, but the race goes on. Nick Kirsten's all over the back of him now. Angelo Luvers, by the way, has gained 10 spots since this race started. Even with that little moment that he had there, Steve Kleiss has gained 12. So big moving from some of these guys through the order. Great recovery drives from further down. But it's Pedersen still leading the way from Philip Hammer. Niels Langeveld behind these two. He's just going to be enjoying watching these drivers just have a good scrap, isn't he? He's a real world racer, though. He's a true racer at heart. There's, dearie me, contact down the start-finish straight. Completely unnecessary. You don't need to move over in a straight line, boys. But wow, very close stuff there from Nikolai Pedersen and Philip Hammer. I think there was also a touch going into turn one as well. There needs to be more room than that left. They're getting mighty feisty with each other. Nikolai trying to send a message here to say, look, you're not going to get all the room in the world. I'm not just going to roll over and let you by here. There's been a drama behind, but we need to stick with this. There's nearly contact there between Langeveld and Hammer. These two now left to fight amongst themselves as Pedersen's opened up a little bit of a gap over them. Over the crest of the hill, bouncing this way and that way. Langeveld having to be so careful not to run into the back of the impulse car. There was, unfortunately, a drama with Nick Kirsten's Eilers de Vries as well. Oh, no, you don't need to do it. You don't need to do it, Nick. No. There's no point in driving over to the right-hand side. Look at this from above. At the end of the day, Eilers does come back over to the left a bit, but there's no point trying to squeeze one another like that. Such a shame to see it, because they were having a great fight up to that point. Such a shame to see that. We've got a great battle going on here, though. Tim Uberkirk and Kaz Brinkhuizen side by side into the Hans Ernst Bocht. And then still side by side, actually, as Tim, I suppose, left the room halfway around the corner. He sort of ran a little bit wide in the second part of the corner. Wow, very close racing between these guys, and it's exactly what we want to see. Looking back from Rexy now as we go down the start-finish straight. Tim moves to the inside line. Kaz goes all the way around the outside line. Can he make that one work? We'll have to see. Tries to swoop down. Doesn't work for him this time, though. Tries to get a cut back on the exit, and no, there's so much curb out there for Tim to use. And he just gets great momentum off the corner. On board with Brinkhuizen now. As they get out of that hairpin. It is a brilliant run by Uberkirk. Listen to this car sing, man. What a great noise it makes. What a great noise. Bit of a gap back to Ivan Ferrari and then Angelo Luvers. Marvin Julian Amance is actually in a fight with Steve Kleiss right now. Steve having a big four-wheel drift through Shivlackers. Oh, no! Steve comes back over to the right-hand side. How on earth did Marvin not go in the wall there? How did Marvin not go in a barrier? That was remarkable. Absolutely remarkable stuff. Very, very close indeed. But still, the two of them continue on. Bit of a gap between the pair of them now, but I'm sure they'll be a bit happier with that than one of them being taken out of the race. Good little sort of mini rivalry between that pair. A great mini rivalry between the top 3 in the race as well, as Nikolai Pedersen, after having a bit of a ding-dong with Philip Hammer earlier, is still under pressure. It's only half a second between him and our second place driver. And then it's Niels Langeveld flying the flag at the moment. It's a Danish driver from the German driver, then the Dutch, and then another Dane in the form of Kasper Riche Andersen in 4th place. Back through Skivlak once more. And Nikolai is just keeping it tidy at the moment. Very, very tidy. As you can hear them kissing the curb and a bit of the grass on the way around the corner as well. These cars are not easy to drive at all, you know. They're not as planted as a GT3 car or a prototype. They may have GT3 in the name, but that's down to Porsche's naming agenda as opposed to the actual classification of race car. They are the 992 GT3 Cup cars, not the GT3R. It's its own class of car, basically, the Cup car. It's getting closer and closer to GT3 times, though. They're immensely fast in a straight line, but they're a lot more slippery than a GT3 car, these machines. And like I say, harder to drive as well, in all aspects. Kaz Brinkhuizen, just trying to get past Tim Overkirk for the last few laps, has actually dropped a couple of car lengths here and isn't able to stick right with him. He's only got a few tenths though, but still not enough at this moment. Here's Angelo Luvers with Ivan Ferrari in front of him as well. Angelo has to slam onto the brakes and use the escape road. He's just missed the wall. Wow. Swoops all the way around the outside to then rejoin the circuit, and that in front of him there is Nick Kirstens. And Steve Kleiss is off. Steve's had the most unlucky race in the world. Marvin Julian-Mamants goes through, probably giggling away a little bit. Chris Versteinen is just behind these two now as well. So that's another little trio. Nikolai Pedersen was over a second in front of the top end of the order, and it, for a moment there, dipped underneath a second to Philip Hammer. Now he's back with him once again. Niels Langeveld still in 3rd position. We'll go back to this fight though, because looking back from Marvin Julian-Mamants, Steve Kleiss and Chris Versteinen getting closer and closer. Into turn 10 they go. Steve Kleiss very close to the back of Marvin Julian-Mamants as Chris Versteinen's now got the run, as they've both got the run on Marvin. The three of them having a fantastic little battle here, side by side into the Hans Ernst Bocht. Marvin tucks it in nice and tidy for the first bit. Chris Versteinen down the inside for the left-hander. Manages to get the move done. Steve Kleiss back up now into 14th place. Still 11 positions gained. Same here for Angelo as, Nick Kirstens into the pit lane. I imagine that'll be a drive-through penalty for the earlier incident that he had with Eilers de Vries. And he's actually jumped into the pits now and is coming to a stop. White flag is in the air, and that is because it's the final lap of the race here, and it's Nikolai Pedersen that is still our race leader. He's got Philip Hammer still in 2nd position. And let's not forget, the interesting element of the final race is that the grid is going to be completely reversed from this finishing order. So these guys are all going to be at the back. Hammer and Langeveld are both going to be in front of Pedersen. We're also going to have Kasper Riche Andersen in front of these guys as well, and he won't have to fight through other cars to get to them. Still, this little battle goes on. Two of these drivers I've commentated on for so long, and they get to go head to head again here on my channel. It's been a long time since we've seen this. Both great characters though, Marvin and Steve. Lovely guys. But around the final corner to take his 2nd win on the bounce is Nikolai Pedersen. Great job so far tonight. Philip Hammer 2nd. Niels Langeveld in 3rd place. Another podium for him. Kasper Riche Andersen 4th. Kevin Poen, a much cleaner and quieter race that time round for him. Luke van Gortel is next. Tim Overkirk holds off Kaz Brinkhuizen until the end. There's been big old drama down here. There's loads of smoke and dust and all sorts everywhere. And Simon van Dijk, oh, he's gone sideways before the final couple of corners. Chris Versteinen trying to go around the outside of Marvin Julien Mamans. Is he going to be able to swoop around the outside there off the banking? I think he might do it. This could be a dead heat across the line. You know, they are right together as they go to the line, and it is just Versteinen that goes through. What on earth happened here, though? Oh, wow, Simon is way off the road. Not sure if he's had some sort of technical issue. But down the inside, oh, no. That was clumsy, that. It was Victor van Zeist that went down the inside. A little bit of a messy one. And then all the other guys were just trying to recover from the incident. But we have the race almost complete. We've got Reinders just crossing the line now. Nick Kirstens has come through again into the pit lane. Kevin Stringer just lost that place on the line there, I believe. No, he was a lap down anyway, actually, so he didn't lose a position on that one. But we'll have a look at the race results then. And then we'll move on to the final race of the evening. Nikolai Pedersen takes his second win on the bounce. Philip Hammer in second place ahead of Niels Langeveld. Then we have Casper Riche Andersen and Kevin Poen next up. Luke van Gortel, car 6, finishes P6 with Tim Overkirk behind him. Kaz Brinkhuizen was next up in car number 12 in position number 8, flipping heck Chaz. Ivan Ferrari finishes 9th inside the top 10 ahead of Angelo Luvers, both of them gaining a number of places each. Angelo gained 12 places in that race. Steve Kleiss, biggest mover in the field, 14 gained for him, finishes 11th with Victor van Zeist in 12th. Chris Versteinen was 13th with Marvin Amance next up. Henry Perala finishes in 15th. Remco Barlow was in 16th place. Then we had Simon van Dijk. Stockvist had another very exciting race. Martijn Koch was in 18th with Rutger Gerritsen 19th, and HF Reinders completing the 20. Nick Kirstens was the last car on the lead lap, but had 2 pit stops in that one. I think one was a drive-through or maybe a stop and go. Kevin Stringer was a lap down ahead of Eilers de Vries, Tim Sprite, and Tony Asumaniemi, the Finnish driver, not making it to the end. So, what we're going to do, everybody, is once again we are going to leave this session here and we are going to pop back in just a few minutes' time, and then we will be back for the third and final race of the evening here in this special Trak Racer event. Bear with us, we'll be back very soon.
Like the city, but I am tired of the same people, of the same things. I want to escape now to another place now, but with you 'cause I don't want to be alone. Tell me if you want to follow me now, to follow me. Take me to your arms and never leave me. Don't leave me, boy. Tell me if you want to follow me now, to follow me. Take me to your arms and never leave me. Don't leave me, boy. Escape now to another place now, but with you 'cause I don't want to be alone. Tell me if you want to follow me now, to follow me. Take me to your arms and never leave me. Don't leave me, boy. Tell me if you want to follow me now, to follow me. Take me to your arms and never leave me. Don't leave me, boy.
So just to give you an update, everybody, the guys are currently sorting out the reverse grid for this final race of the night. So based on that race result that we just saw there, the grid will be completely reversed by the wonderful people at Trak Racer, and then the session will go back up in a sec, and we will have the final race of the night ready to go. Thanks again for your patience on this, everybody. We're just getting the final session set up, and we'll be with you again in a few minutes' time. Cheers.
I was so sure of our love. I never thought of any reason, a doubt about us. And now I'm right back at the start. Halfway through a bottle, baby, and nothing's enough. I thought that I could keep it low. Take it easy, take it slow. We ended up just like before. So take it easy, take it easy. I thought that I could keep it low. Take it easy, take it slow. We ended up just like before. So take it easy. And you know how to forget all the wrongs and every reason why we've changed. And there's a storm inside my head. It's getting me in trouble, baby, and I can't break away. I thought that I could keep it low. Take it easy, take it slow. We ended up just like before, so take it easy, take it easy. I thought that I could keep it.
Okay, we're just joining the session now, everybody, so just a few more minutes and we'll be back in. Thank you once again for your patience. Hope you're enjoying the event so far, and we'll see you in a sec.
Take it easy.
I can feel I'm changing. I don't know if I'll ever go back. All the ways that you make me, build me up on the things I lack. I don't ever wanna lose you now. 'Cause I don't think I'll make it here without. 'Cause it's you and only you. 'Cause it's you and only you.
Okay, hello everybody, Chaz Draycott here for this Trak Racer VIP special event. We're here for the final race of the evening then. The drivers are just getting into the session now. They're having a quick warm-up before we get things underway. It's a full reverse grid based on the finishing position from earlier on. So basically from race 2, every position is now reversed the other way round, and everybody will be starting in pretty much the opposite position to where they were. Steve Kleiss will be hoping for a little bit more luck in this final race of the night than he's had in the other two. He had a great battle, though, in the later stages of the previous one. Tony Asumaniemi is having a really good race as well so far. Sorry, good evening at least so far. In the first two races, he ran very, very well. Kevin Pone got some strong results too. And we've seen a lot of different battles all the way up and down the order. We've seen Rexy going well as well at the hands of Tim Uberkirk. He had to gain a few more positions in that second race of the evening than he did in the first one.
Hello, Chess.
It's been good to see. Hello, Niels Langeveld joins us in the box. Hello, mate.
Yes, of course. I was a bit too busy the other session, but
how's it going from your end?
I tried my best. Yeah, well, let's say the qualifying, I made a small mistake. Could have been a pole position, was very close. Then in the races, I fired up quite fast. It was going really well. The speed was good and the pace as well. I closed up on what was it again? It was
Philip Hammer, wasn't it?
Hammer.
Yeah.
Hammer, yeah. And then I overtook him, and then then I closed the gap with Peterson. But yeah, then Hammer was also going faster as well, so I had to defend and look forward as well. And in the end, I tried to defend my position, made a small mistake, and lost in the end the last lap. So
It's been
shit happens, but it's very close, at the top.
Yeah, definitely. I was going to say the racing that you guys have had and throughout the whole field, it's been very exciting so far, but that's what these Porsche Cup cars give us, isn't it? They're fantastic for close racing.
Yeah, exactly. So it's difficult to overtake, but that's the same in real life, That's what it is, and that's why it's such a nice car and championship. Obviously the last race these guys were speeding up at the top, and I was just, didn't have the same pace anymore in that session. But still, we're making a hell of a show of it, huh?
Yeah, definitely. It's fantastic fun so far. I mean, it's the aliens at the front. That's what we call them, isn't it? These aliens. They're rapid. They're absolutely rapid. But it's good to see the battles, though, happening. And, I mean, do you reckon that you and the guys are going to make a good cut through the order in this one to gain places?
Well, for sure, people don't leave because the the most exciting race is about to start. In about 4 minutes, we will have the entire order reverse grid, as you probably already said, which means that Peterson start last, then we have Hammer, and then me, and then we have to see and try to cut through the field without taking unnecessary risks and crash the car. So, of course, to win these prizes, you need the total amount of points. How you say, they need to be they are combined results.
Yes.
So the one of the 3 races with the most point wins. So nothing decided yet, you know. Even the ones from P4 can who finished P4 the last race can still be the overall winner. So for sure will be very exciting race and expected to be a lot of action.
Absolutely. Well, it's been fantastic fun to see it so far, Niels. Thank you very much, mate. And, well, best of luck for the last race of the night. I hope you enjoy it.
Yeah, for sure. I really enjoyed it, and I hope everybody is enjoying it. This great opportunity that Trak Racer gives. It's the start of a new sim era, and let's see if we can make these things continue for the future and make bigger championships, long grids, and a lot of nice prizes to win, because this is the way to come as close as you can to a professional race driver. And for sure we want to have some guests in as well, like Mirko Bortolotti, DTM racer. He's a sim friend, let's call it like that, an esports friend, not a real friend, but an esports friend, and we want to have him in to have guest races, and also some other drivers who will join for the future. So a combination of real life race drivers in combination with esports simulator drivers. So all with us with Trak Racer. So let's get ready.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much, Niles. Nicely said, mate. Thank you for being a part of this, and we will hopefully speak to you very, very soon.
Yes, speak after the race. Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.
There we go then. Niels Langeveld, absolute star. Very, very enthusiastic. Great to speak to. And the final race of the evening is just about geared up now, everyone. We've got the cars out on the circuit, putting in some times just as part of the sort of final warm-up session, so to speak. And then we're going to see what these guys can do. Reverse grid, it's going to be a little bit more, I don't want to say chaotic, but there's going to be a lot more going on here, and that's not to say there wasn't stuff going on before. It's going to be mighty, mighty busy, this one. So we'll have to see what they can do in terms of their patience. Drivers have to be so patient coming through the order here, because on paper and just in terms of the points, the faster drivers being at the back end of the field are going to have to sort of wait a little bit and try and judge when other drivers may be braking early, and even in the middle of the field to the front of the field. You know, we've got quite the spread of pace in this pack, so you never know what to expect as a driver trying to make your way through the order. We'll have to wait and see, but everything's going to blink on and off for a second, and then we will get onto the grid for the final race of the night here in this Trak Racer VIP League event. I hope you've been enjoying the show here on Chaz Draycott Media. Please do make sure you are subscribed to the channel as well and support what I do. Very, very happy to be a part of this. Just waiting to see now what the drivers say in terms of their positions. Let's have a look then. They need to keep their wits about them here. Hans Vesterbeek on pole position with Tony Asumaniemi alongside him. Tony didn't finish one of the races earlier, so that certainly helps him out. Tim Sprite is next up with Kevin Stringer. Eilers de Vries and Rutger Gerritsen on the third row. Nick Kirstens alongside HF Reinders on row 4. Then it's Martijn Koch and Simon van Dijk Stokvis. Remco Barlow and Henry Perala on row 6. Chris Versteinen next up with Marvin Omans alongside him. Steve Kleis and Victor van Zeist. Ivan Ferrari, Angelo Levers, Tim Overkirk and Kaz Brinkhuizen unfortunately, we're going to have to crack on because the grid is ready to go, and it's Hans Westerbeek that is going to be leading us away in the yellow and purple machine, and we'll go at Zandvoort for the final time tonight. Everybody flying down towards turn 1, and Luke van Gortel's had a bad start in the background. It looked like Philip Hammer was side by side with Nikolai Pedersen. Once again, the two of them absolutely stuck to each other. And as they head round the first couple of corners, it looks like Van Gortel was slightly sideways there. No, it was Pedersen. Pedersen was sideways. Rutger Gerritsen's off the road. There's cars in the barrier on the outside. Is that teammates as well? Rutger Gerritsen and his teammate, car number 9. Eilers de Vries, both off in the barrier. Oh, there's a big drama. Big drama on the exit. There's cars involved there. Spun around is the number 15 machine of Kaz Brinkhuizen. He was one of the top dogs in this one, and Niels Langeveld's in it as well. Steve Kleiss also involved. Henry Perala in that. Casper Riche Anderson is also out of the race. Oh, dearie me. It all got very messy on the exit of the hairpin. All it took was 2 drivers to get close to each other, and that was that. A bit of contact, and they're off and in the wall. There's loads of them all together here. Look at this. Simon van Dijk's got an amazing view in the rearview mirror. So many of these cars in a consistent stream. 2 wide, 3 wide, all the way through. But out of the race, Casper Riche Anderson, Steve Kleiss, Niels Langeveld down in 24th position. That's so devastating. But nobody is immune from being caught up in an incident, even if it's not your fault. As Philip Hammer having to be very careful there. Niels Langeveld, unfortunately, out of the race, it seems. He's had to pull over to one side. Now, where is, in all of this, Nikolai Pedersen? He's actually 2 cars back from Philip Hammer, who we ride on board with here. He takes advantage of that, and Angelo Luvers is moved out of the way by HF Reinders. Reinders now getting a bit of a kiss there from Philip. And the start-finish straight they go. Asuma Niemi leads the race by 2.8 seconds. He'll be happy with that, but the battles further up are very close. Marvin Julien Mamant's in 4th place. Westerbeek's just lost a position there to Kevin Poon. Kevin Poon's been punted. Oh, there was a loss of control by, who was that? It's Martijn Koch. And he just had that little bit of kick of oversteer of the car out of the corner, a bit of contact and around. Oh, dearie me, he's been done in by Netcode there, and he's been done in by Rutger Gerritsen now. Oh dear. Oh dear. Bit of contact there at the back end of the order, which is a big shame to see. Like I said, this final race of the night was going to be hyper lively, and it already has. Philip Hammer, well, he's hammering on right now. He's gained 14 places in this race. There's Nikolai Pedersen. He's gained 12 positions. Marvin Julien Mamants has gained 10. He's up into 4th place. Go on, sunshine. Behind him is Kevin Stringer, then Remco Barlow. Tim Sprite in there as well in the orange car. Oh, I had to say it. Stringer's around. He's lost the back end of the car. Manages to keep it out of the wall. But look at this. The Finnish driver at the front, Tony Asuminiemi. Or Asuminiemi. I'm so sorry, Tony, if I'm saying your name wrong, but great drive so far all the same. His name's on the screen. You know that by now. Hans Westerbeek and Chris Versteinen right together now as they fight away for an extra position. Lovely little cutback that by Versteinen. Goes around the outside, then the inside. That's the 6th position he's gained in this race. Philip Hammer not too far behind that as well. Pouring the car down the start-finish straight. What a great racket this thing makes. You can see Westerbeek wants to go back to the inside, actually, of Versteinen. Tries to make a move into Tarzan. Victor van Zeist also just ahead here, wanting to gain places from these battles. Look at the amount of road that Philip Hammer is using there. And around the bowl they go. It's amazing, but you can see the pace difference there from Hammer to the cars in front. How's Nikolai Pedersen getting on? He's won 2 races so far, and if anything, Angelo Luvers has let him go there. He's moved out of the way to the left-hand side. Pedersen goes through. Go on board now with Nikolai. Just less than 16 minutes of this race left to go here. You can see all the battles ahead of him. See that Philip Hammer is making his way through it as Ivan Ferrari kicks the back end out and he's off into the gravel. He manages to recover without losing too much ground or hitting a wall, but yeah, he has a bit of a moment there, to say the least. Just checking the times. And as they cross the line, the fastest lap of the race has just been done by our race leader, Tony Asumaniemi, Finnish driver. And look at this here, Nikolai Pedersen down the inside into the hairpin. Hans Westerbeek is the next car in front. He's just got past Victor van Zeist. And then Ivan Ferrari still holding on to this. Actually, looking back at that, it looked like Westerbeek was going a little bit deep there. And around the outside goes Pedersen. He's now got Philipp Hammer right in front of him. And the two of them are making their way through the field fantastically. It's a shame that they've not had Niels Langeveld in there with them. But at the end of the day, Niels was just caught up in somebody else's accident. It's a shame as well that Casper Riche Andersen was caught up in an incident there too. But we'll have to see what the points are like at the end of the evening and who gets what. Because they still have to think about their overall position in this race, because some of the drivers that finished not too far behind them have still gained places in this one to move right to the front. As oh no, Marvin Julian Mamance is off in the background there, just kisses the tyre barrier, but he would have ended up in the end of the tyre barrier if he would have continued on at that sort of pace. And he's had to concede a few places there as a result of that. Ivan Ferrari there trying to cut back on Victor van Zeist. You can see now he tucks in down the start-finish straight. And then down the inside into turn one he goes. Lovely move. Victor tries to get a cutback on him. Doesn't work this time round. Race leader's got 3.7 seconds of an advantage right now. Tony is on the move. Up over the crest of the hill he goes. There's been a move for Kaz Brinkhuizen on Reinders. It's also got... Is that Langeveld coming through? Yeah, Langeveld's actually jumped back in the race. He's a lap down as, oh, dearie me, Brinkhuizen's on... Well, he's on the brink. He's gone over it and he's off the circuit. Reinders now wants to gain a place, puts his nose down the inside, side by side as they go over the crest of the hill. This way, then the other. But yeah, Langeveld, always the competitor. Back out on the circuit again. As Tony still leads this race. Nick Kirsten's second position, pushing on. He actually did a lap that was a little bit slower than Tony last time round, so he's not actually gaining on him in the lead. Simon van Dijk is in third position. Renko Barlow is in fourth. Tim Sprite holding on to fifth place, ahead of Chris Versteinen. Versteinen in car number 16 there has got the original pairing that have been first and second in the first two races of the night. Philipp Hammer and then Nikolai Pedersen just with them. Victor van Zeist now still in a battle as well with fellow yellow car enthusiast Hans Westerbeek. The two of them, some of the brightest cars in the field to say the least. We've got the Finnish driver though still at the very top. Look at the way these things just blast their way down the start-finish straight, over 250 kilometres an hour. As there's only just a gap there for Victor van Zeist side by side on the exit of the corner, and the outside line always tends to prevail there at turn one. It's amazing how easy it is for them to sort of swoop around the outside and keep a position like that. It's a very strange way of defending. You'd always think that, you know, leaving the door open down the inside wouldn't work. This battle right now is Tim Sprite ahead of Chris Versteinen. Philipp Hammer trying to find his way through. He wants to gain places as quickly as he can here. Because he knows that if he just sits behind Versteinen, Pedersen is going to be all over the back of him. Westerbeek and Van Zeist are still swapping places in the background as well. You can see them moving around on the timing tower on the left. We've got excellent entertainment here from Trak Racer and their community tonight. Hats off to the guys. At this current standings, or in these current standings, it's going to be Pedersen that takes the win on the night with 80 points over Philipp Hammer. Niels Langeveld on 60. Kevin Poon on 48, and then Casper would have had 45. That's actually before this race, I do apologise. So Pedersen, maximum points for him at the moment because it's 40 for a win, 35 for second place. So where they are right now would still see Nikolai Pedersen take the win as far as I remember. Just looking back at how the points are scored actually. They've got a 5-point gap between first and second, then 5 points between second and third, and then it's 3 points all the way down, and you have to be inside the top 15 to score points. So right now with Philip Hammer sat in 7th place, he would only gain 3 points back on Nikolai Pedersen, and Nikolai would not lose enough points to anybody, I think, ahead of them by enough to lose the win on the night. You can see, though, Pedersen all over the back of Philip Hammer now, trying to make the move, as there's a little mistake by Chris Versteinen. Gets sideways on the exit of the hairpin, and through goes Hammer. Now, is there going to be enough of a move for Pedersen to make? No, there's not. So he has to sit there for just a moment, stay patient, wait for the opportunity to come his way. The IFR esports machine, not sure if that is anything to do with aviation, but IFR being an aviation term for instrument flying regulations. I think it's that anyway. I'm going to pretend like it is. Down the start finish straight once again. Listen to the transmission whine of this Porsche 992 GT3 car. Screaming away as down the inside Pedersen, big move into turn 1. Tries to get it stopped. Oh, there's a tiny touch there on Chris Versteinen. Chris knocked a little bit sideways. Chris will feel a little bit hard done by with that one, but Pedersen, he's under pressure here to make sure he doesn't lose all these places, or lose all this time, I should say, to Hammer. As long as he sits right behind him, he'll be okay for the win on the night. Look at them bobbling their way over the crest of the hill. It seems like there was a bit of smoke there actually. I think Kevin Stringer has had an off. It's actually later in the lap. He's got the number 4 machine behind him there. As big spin on the throttle. We've seen him lose that a few times tonight, unfortunately. Kevin just a little bit heavy with his right foot, it seems there, but still, hats off to him for jumping in this evening. He's been giving it a go. He's been doing a wonderful, wonderful job. Nikolai Pedersen, though, has been doing a wonderful job in the first 2 races of the evening, and continues to do so now as Philip Hammer putting Tim Sprite under pressure. Tim just trying to keep it tidy. Just no chinks in the armour to be shown here from Tim. 5th place at the minute. He's not got a big gap ahead to Remco Barlow, but I suppose that the guys behind aren't going to really worry about risking anything to make a move here. Here comes Philip Hammer down the inside, and Pedersen's going to try and follow him through. There's a lock-up in front as well. Hopefully no incident from any of that, but the guys ahead are fighting hard. That's Remco Barlow and Simon van Dijk. He's actually just overtaken him as Remco. He goes through. Up over the crest of the hill. And the guys are still very much in this fight here. Philip Hammer, Nikolai Pedersen. The 2 to keep an eye on, with no disrespect to any of the other field either, by the way. But look at this guy, Tony Asumaniemi, having a fantastic, fantastic lead of this race. 5.8 seconds. Just looking at the lap times though, and he's getting away from these guys by quite a lot. Remco Barlow's actually going quicker than the race leader at the moment. He's setting some very solid lap times. Just less than 6 minutes of this race left to go. Oh no, Rexy's off in the sand. Tim Uberkirk having an issue down there at Sheevlack, and he's still on the beach. Still comes back on, but respectful stuff. He doesn't just rejoin in the middle of the road with the other car following on from him. Here's Simon van Dijk now. He's the next one to try and defend from these guys, and already Philip Hammer gets his move down the inside. They're side by side into the final corner. The first corner. And Pedersen again just wanting to get through. He's hoping that it'll be made easy for him by the fact that Philip Hammer is gaining these positions. Oh, a little bit of a wobble there, and look at that. Decisive stuff from Pedersen. Throws it up the inside. And wow, very, very feisty stuff. Simon van Dijk stuck with trying to defend, and he's actually managed to keep it in front of the Danish driver. This is the thing, Nikolai needs to be so careful here, because at the end of the day, if he pushes too hard and overdoes it, makes a mistake, then he's not going to be able to win the top prize, which is 2 tickets to Zandvoort on the 9th of June with VIP access to see Niels Langeveld race in the Porsche Carrera Cup Deutschland. Trak Racer wireless headphones for the second place finisher on the night, and a pair of Trak Racer gloves for third as well. Nikolai looking down the inside. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. You can hear a little bit of scraping as the cars hit over the curbs as well into that very tight section of the track down there at the Hans Ernst Bocht. Hello to Crimson in the chat as well, the best talkie for the Vroom Vroomy. Absolutely, thank you very much. Lovely to have you along for the ride. And side by side now, Philip Hammer once again with this move down the start-finish straight. We've seen him do it a few times already. He needs to put himself in a position where he can gain 10 points over Nikolai, and at the moment he's going to gain 9 points over him, so he's only going to be 1 point off if it finishes as is with them 3rd and 6th. So if Nikolai can just get ahead of Simon van Dijk, he will make it a lot easier for him to have the win on the night, and that might make life a bit easier as well, because Simon just running a little bit wide there. Victor van Zijst is having an issue further back, I'm afraid. He's had an off at the start of the lap. Oh, listen to the short shift there by Nikolai. Knew exactly where to put the car, exactly what gear to be in, and you know what? He's letting Simon have his own little drama here. He's just putting pressure on into Bocht 9. Down the inside he goes. Simon's now giving him the room on the outside, but then he's back on the inside. Needs to get it stopped for turn 10. And look at that, Pedersen. He's going to use the outside momentum now to try and get a run off the corner. Down the inside of the Hans Ernst Bocht. The two of them still right beside each other. It'd be great if Chaz could speak English up here in the commentary box, wouldn't it? It's down the inside goes the Dane. Nikolai Pedersen puts himself in a much more comfortable position in regards to this event right now. He's going to try and break away. But Tony Asumniemi has got 2 laps left in the books here at Zandvoort. And he's doing everything right as things stand to take a race victory. He always looked good from the front of the grid, as Tim Sprite having a bit of a blink in and out for just a moment there. As Chris Versteinen still in amongst this fight, trying to do whatever he can. Great battle going on here. Love to see this. It's excellent, excellent stuff. Just keeping an eye on this gap between Nick Kirstens and Philip Hammer, by the way. Nick Kirstens defending for his life here, making sure that he can do whatever he can do to hold on to this place. And this is great pressure by Philip Hammer to try and get through into second position. 5 extra points for that position as well. So if he gets second with Nikolai Pedersen in 5th, around the outside, he tries it, does Philip. Side by side down the start, finish straight they go. And he goes through on the left-hand side before they even get down to turn 1. But Kirstens is sticking with him on the brakes here. Throws it up the inside. There's contact between the two. He goes a little bit too deep. Does Kirstens, loses an extra place as a result. Remco Barlow goes through. Oh, there's a spin in the background. Simon van Dijk around. He's gone sideways. Sideways. And recovers. just in front of the field. Marvin Julian Mamance side by side here with Kevin Puen. He's trying to get through, but Tony Asumaniemi is on his final lap of the race here and doing an outstanding job. 9.1 seconds now ahead of Philip Hammer. Some great battles through the order from everybody, but Philip Hammer in second place. Let's have a look at the points where that would put them. Second place would be 35 points. Nikolai Pedersen in fifth would actually be on 24 points. So if it finishes like this, oh, he's actually just got through. Pedersen on Kirstens, and now it's swapped back. If Pedersen actually finishes where he is now and Philip Hammer is second, Philip Hammer will win the event. It's literally coming down to the final few corners. Tony Asumaniemi is going to take the race victory with a great gap. But Nikolai Pedersen, to win this event, has to get past Nick Kirstens right now. He has to get this move done to take the event win. Otherwise, he's going to lose out. He's going to have the run off the banking, but he's not close enough to get enough slipstream here. I don't know if he's going to do it. Philip Hammer comes round the final corner to take second place behind Tony Asumaniemi, and Nikolai Pedersen is not going to do it. That means Hammer wins the event. Philip Hammer takes it. Surely. Second place gets you 35 points. He was 10 behind Nikolai earlier. Yes, Philip Hammer wins the event. Philip Hammer has taken the victory in the dying moments of the race. Nick Kirstens, defending from Nikolai Pedersen, has denied him the victory. Philip Hammer will win 2 tickets to Zandvoort, VIP to the Carrera Cup Deutschland with Niels Langeveld on June the 9th. Trak Racer wireless headphones going the way of Nikolai Pedersen. He's clearly not lost out too much, but wow. I mean, not lost out too much, you know what I mean? He's still won something from it, but wow, oh wow, right at the end. Big dramas as the race comes to a close. Goodness me. So, Tony Asumaniemi takes the victory, nearly 9 seconds ahead of Philip Hammer. Remco Barlow gets a podium to complete the night. Nick Kirstens 4th and Nikolai Pedersen in 5th place. Makes sure that there are enough points there for Hammer to take the win. Wow. Nikolai Pedersen 5th ahead of Chris Versteinen. Then it's Tim Sprite, Angelo Luvers, Ivan Ferrari, Simon van Dijk and Kaz Brinkhuizen. Then it's Victor van Zeist, Marvin Amants, Kevin Poon, then Hans Vesterbeek, Luke van Gortel, HF Reinders, and then next up Martijn Kok in 18th place. Eilers de Vries 1 lap down, so too was Niels Langeveld, Tim Uverkerk, Rutger Gerritsen, Kevin Stringer, Henry Perala, Casper Riche Anderson, and Steve Kleiss did not finish the race. Wow, oh wow, very busy stuff then. We're going to quickly add some music into the mix, and we're going to go back in time to have a look at just how all this unfolded, and we'll get things nice and tidy in slow-mo, and we'll see whether we can get our top 3 in here rather sharpish. I'm just going to wait and hear from the guys and see what we've got. So if you bear with us, everybody, just going to get the guys in and see whether we can have a chat with them and get their thoughts on what was a brilliant night of racing. But what a great win that was by, if I can get get the words out, Tony Asumaniemi taking the final race victory of the night. Got the move done at the very start of the race and got some big points out of that last one on the night. But great entertainment all the way through, though, I'm sure you'll agree, from these drivers. Tony actually ended up taking 3rd place in the event as well, so we'll hopefully get a word from him, see what he thought of all of that. But we are just waiting for the guys to jump in for a potential interview. So if you bear with us, everyone, we'll see if we can get them in. But look at these lovely shots of the cars making their way through the first couple of corners. Look at that. Very, very busy grid. Loads going on. And I'm delighted to say I'm joined by Niels Langeveld. Niels, what a great night of racing. A massive shame that there was the incident at the start of that one, but considering it came down to the last laps between the top two, that's epic, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. Well, that's racing, of course, especially iRacing. You know when you have a reverse grid that you need some luck now and then at this point coming out of the Huguenots, there was a car standing still and reversed a bit, and it hit my rear wheel and it was completely wrecked. So unfortunate, but congratulations to the winners. We have a winner. On the third place we have Tony Asumaniemi, and then on the second place Nikolai N. Peterson, and on the first place Philip Hammer.
Indeed.
So congratulate to them. And as I can see on the stream is there are from, what is it, Finland, and Asumaniemi, as I'm saying, well, is from Finland. Then we have Peterson from Norway. So we have Scandinavian top drivers here today. And then we have Hammer at the second as a winner, as a general winner from Germany. So yeah,
awesome
of course,
stuff.
I would like to see Philip Hammer to come over to watch my races.
Yeah.
And well, let's catch up with the third driver, which is now in the waiting room. Okay, so Tony Asumaniemi, maybe you can drag him in.
Yeah, I'm trying to get Craig to do it, because then we're going to go in reverse order basically, and we'll see if we can have a quick chat with them one by one. Yes, Tony is going to be dragged in just a second. Then here he is, actually. We should have Tony Asumaniemi. I've been trying to say the name correctly all night. Not sure if Tony's got the permissions to speak in here, though, unfortunately. In a minute, he's
he
muted.
Should be correct. Let him speak, correct?
We need to have anybody able to speak in here. So we'll just have to wait and see. Bear with us. Tony can probably hear us. He's probably screaming at the moment, just shouting that he can hear us. Bless him. Bless him.
Now I can speak.
There we go.
Well.
Tony, you must be over the moon with that one, mate. A fantastic, clean final race for you. That was plenty of fun, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was a little bit surprised that I was P3 after race 2 when I was last, so I didn't think that I would be P3 overall standings.
Well, it certainly worked out for you, mate. And of course, you don't go away empty-handed either. You get Trak Racer gloves, which will be coming your way. That'll be organised by the guys. But what about a night like this when it's a one-off event? It's mighty difficult to try and sort of prep yourself for something like this, isn't it?
Yeah, actually I didn't practice much, maybe a couple hours, and of course the practice before the race. But the track is familiar, so it wasn't too hard, and I have been driving this car a lot, so it wasn't too hard.
Well, it's been fantastic to see you out there this evening, Tony. Is there any sort of chance of seeing you in the leagues that these guys might be organising as well? Because this is only the start, really, isn't it?
Yeah, that would be interesting, especially if it will be with this car. So let's see.
Yeah, definitely. You've certainly got the pedigree and the pace in it as well. Any questions from you, Niels?
No, I think, and thank you for organising this.
Yeah, for sure. We are really happy that also people abroad, the UK and the Netherlands, are joining. So very happy with you. You did a fantastic job in the last race. So well done, and I see that you are quite up to speed as well in the last race with a 35.9 as your best. So what could have been more, maybe with a bit of practice, you know. But next time we'll hope to see you in the championship.
Yeah, thank you.
Lovely stuff.
Mate. We get in touch with you to send you the gloves.
Sorry,
we get in touch with you to send you the gloves, Tony.
Okay, thank you very much.
Lovely stuff.
Bye.
See you. Thanks a lot.
Cheers,
Bye.
Tony.
Bye.
Our third place finisher then, Tony Asumaniemi. I'm going to eventually get that name right. We'll now move on and bring in second place finisher on the night, Nikolai Pedersen. Nikolai, first off, commiserations for just missing out on the win, but what a great night of racing you've had. So many fantastic battles. You must have enjoyed that.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun trying to go through the field.
I was going to say the night had sort of two halves to you, even though it was 3 races. It was obviously a very different set of races because leading from the front and defending is mighty difficult, but making your way through the pack cleanly as well with so many cars on track is so tough, isn't it?
Yeah, and at the start I got involved in the crash, so I had wheel damage. So my wheel was turning a bit right, so that didn't make it easier.
No, I was going to say, if anything, that makes life 10 times harder, but especially around a circuit like this as well, because Zandvoort is so tricky, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
And obviously, some great battles with Philip Hammer as well. It's even more rewarding, isn't it, when you come away from an event like this after having such a hard fight with somebody as quick as that.
Yeah, I have been racing him all season actually, so and he have always won over me. So
oh, not again!
I still got that one.
There's a phrase we say in the UK which is always the bridesmaid in this one, so I'm not quite sure if that's the case tonight, Nikolai. But it's been great to watch, and obviously Niles will get in touch as well, and they'll sort the prizes out with you, won't they, Niles?
Yeah, for sure. Well done, Nikolai. We had a very nice fight in the first couple of races. We showed them some really good racing, clean racing, clever racing, and you can see you are a real professional esports driver. So well done, and congratulations with your prize.
Thanks.
Lovely stuff. Any final words from you, Nikolai, before you go?
Nah, it was a great event and fun to drive. Good competition, so yeah.
Well, thank you very much for jumping in, mate. We hope to see you again soon.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Okay, we move on then to our eventual
winner,
the man himself, Philip Hammer. I mean, you didn't have an easy final race there, Philip. I've just literally cut to footage of you, and there's a car across the front of you. It's not an easy place to overtake or make progress around Zandvoort, is it?
Yeah, it's very difficult to overtake. I had to fight my way back, but it was such a fun race.
Well, that's it.
Such a fun event.
We were going to say, as long as you've had such a fun time, mate, that's the main thing.
Yeah.
But you come away as winner. 2 tickets to Zandvoort on the 9th of June to go and see the Carrera Cup. You must be over the moon.
Yeah, can't believe it.
Yeah, where do you live, Philip?
Germany.
Yeah, I understand. I saw that. But where? But where in Germany?
Bavaria. So in the south.
Oh, it's only a short walk then. It's fine.
Yeah, can go by bike.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you say?
Bavaria.
Bavaria, like the beer.
So yeah, like Munich and so on.
Oh dear. Oh, that's very close. It's only 780 kilometers.
Yeah.
Only. That's fine.
Well, do you have a girlfriend?
Yeah, I have a wife.
Oh,
And
you have
a
a
newborn child.
Oh, real? Congratulations, mate. Oh, fantastic. Well,
Thanks.
maybe for you to come to Zandvoort with your wife and your child, and then you let your wife babysit the child and you come to Zandvoort.
Yeah, we need to talk that through.
Yeah, exactly. Well. Anyway, Philip, just consider and think about what you're gonna do with the tickets, and for sure you're more than welcome on the special DTM event. Have you ever been to a DTM event?
Yeah, we were last year at Norrisring.
Ah, okay.
That was great.
Cool. Well, I can tell you for sure it's a really special price. As I said, it's a very high-end, exclusive VIP VIP ticket, which will be you will be over the moon with full of catering and nice view on the grid, and watch everything very closely from our VIP lounge.
Yeah, that sounds nice.
Yeah. Okay, mate. Well, I hope you liked the race.
Yeah, was awesome.
Yeah,
Thanks
you were really
for organizing.
It seemed like, if I may, it seems like in the first race you were struggling a little bit in the beginning, right?
Yeah, first race I wasn't happy with my pace, but the second race was much better.
Yeah,
I thought I could win it.
Yeah, and then somehow you turn it around yourself. How did you do? Why? How was that?
I don't really know.
Oh, unbelievable! Because in the beginning, I was a bit faster, and I
Yeah.
didn't go any faster in the second race or the third race. It was just the same, but you found some pace out there. So
Yeah, don't know where that pace came from.
yeah. Well, anyway, mate. Thanks a lot for joining, and hopefully you will enter the full championship, which details are coming later on as well.
Oh,
So
is it the P Cup Championship?
there will be a full championship later on.
Oh, nice.
Ooh, there you go. You heard it here first, everybody.
So for sure it's a new format, and we try to make it better every time.
Well, it's been fantastic to have you as part of this, Philip. Thank you very much for jumping in, mate. Any final words before you go?
Oh, yeah. Thanks for organizing. Thanks for the good race, Niels and Nikolai.
Well, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
Absolute pleasure to have you, mate. And yeah, final words from Niles before we go, mate.
No, I talked enough, Jess, today.
Well, that is unfortunately all we've got time for here on Chaz Draycott Media, everybody. But thank you so much for joining us this evening. Thank you, Niles. Thank you, Craig, everyone at Trak Racer for putting on this event. It's been plenty of fun, and we look forward to seeing you all again very, very soon. Thanks very much, guys, and we'll see you again at some point in the future.
Take it easy. And you know how to forget all the wrongs and every reason why we've changed.